Jason Schreier, a writer at Bloomberg who formerly wrote at Kotaku, is on the warpath against gamers, calling them quote unquote chuds. Not only that, he is lying about how DEI affects video game sales. Roll this up over at fandompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. You can also find a link to become a member of the channel and help me expose this woke ideology that is invading video games, entertainment, and our culture and society at large. So, Shreier, as I said, currently writes at Bloomberg, previously worked at Kotaku. He attacked gamers as chuds and lied, stating that games don't fail financially due to diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. This is what he wrote on X, saying, "Go woke, go bro, or top the charts." Obviously, shared two screenshots there. The first one being the top sales list on Steam, where Dragon Age the Veilguard is at the top, and then the peak concurrent players list for Steam DB. At the time when he took the screenshot, it was at 58,958, obviously in its first day. We know that it did indeed hit a peak concurrent of 70,414 in its first day, and it hit an all-time peak earlier tonight of 77,465 players. That was in its second day. Both numbers are still subpar and indicate that sales for the game will likely be soft and much lower than what EA and BioWare would like to see. Obviously, we know that Metaphor Refantasio did about peak of 85,000. I think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero did 122,000. We know Metaphor sold 1 million copies in its first day, and we know Dragon Ball sold 3 million in its first 24 hours. These numbers don't look good. And the fact that we're not seeing it climb higher than 77,000 indicates that this game is going to have a long road to hoe for it to break even. If what we're seeing from some people creating their own estimations, it's around a $250 million production budget, not including any kind of marketing. But I haven't seen anything official from EA or BioWare on that count. But we do know this game has been in production for 10 years. So you know that the production budget for the game has to be pretty high. So in response to this user here, Mr. Clown, responded to this post saying, "There's no way you genuinely like this turd." And Shreier admits, "I actually don't like the game very much, but I do like seeing you chuds get dunked on." So he thinks he's dunking on people by saying that the game is at the top of the sales charts and its peak concurrent is at 58,000, when in reality, that's not actually good, right? That's not good at all. Sure, being at the top can be great, but if you're at the top of a list where the sales aren't really doing that well for everyone else down the line, then it's not really that great being at the top of the list, right? You're not going up against Metaphor. You're not going up against Dragon Ball Sparking Zero right when they released. So of course it's going to be at the top right now, because there really isn't anything new in the AAA category that has been released. There's nothing that has the brand of Dragon Age, and it does have a strong brand, Inquisition being the best-selling title in the game about 10 years ago. But it just kind of proves what this guy's all about. It has nothing to do with the actual facts. It has nothing to do with any real, true analysis. He says here, it's just about dunking on the quote-unquote chuds, gamers. And then another person here wrote, "In other words, you actually don't care about the game. You just want to feel your wokeism validated." And that's exactly right. He wants to feel his wokeism validated because it's not about finding the truth. He literally admits it. It's not about finding the truth, seeking the truth, or anything at all. It's just about seeing chuds get dunked on. Anyway, and he responds here and says, "No, I'm simply sharing another data point to support what I've been trying to explain for years now." Well, that's not what you said up here. You said it was about dunking on the chuds. So when he actually gets called out for what he's really doing, he has to try and deflect now into a different answer. Because if he was actually being honest, he would just repeat it, right? He's like, "Oh, I'm just doing it because you're right. I do just want my wokeism validated," but he can't actually say that. Anyways, I've been trying to explain for years now, which is that despite what idiots may tell you, DEI is not a factor in whether games do or do not sell. Well, we'll get to that, because Ironically, just 2 days after he posted this, Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed executive producer, their boss, is basically admitting that it does. Shreier then doubled down on his attack on gamers when ex-user Mr. Clown wrote this. It does contribute to a game's downfall, though. But I'm wondering now, do you know why Dustborn failed? And then Shreier says, because nobody knows what it is except for you and your chud friends. So again, continuing to attack gamers as chuds. I mean, these people, they have no arguments. All they can do is use ad hominems, throw insults, because at the end of the day, they know that DEI does affect sales. They know that gamers don't like it. They know people don't want this woke ideology shoved down their throats. They know that it is affecting the actual quality of the games that are being made. They won't say that, though, because that would mean admitting that what they have been peddling for years is indeed lies, and that they are not actual journalists or truth tellers or anything else that they want to describe themselves. What they really are professional liars, and they get paid to lie. And that is what Jason Schreier does. He is a professional liar. He gets paid to lie. This thread here is proof of that. Not only is this thread proof of it, but we literally have Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed boss, Mark Alexis Cote, informing a BAFTA event that the backlash to Assassin's Creed Shadows over its diversity and inclusion agenda has been, quote, devastating. Eurogamer reported that during the event, Cote said this: the current climate is tough on our creative teams. He added they face lies, half-truths, and personal attacks online. So obviously this guy is just completely spreading lies here. Obviously, I don't even include a lot of what he says in that Eurogamer reported what he says, but he's clearly lying. He doubles down on his lies and he projects a lot, basically saying that people are just hating on him. And in order to stop spreading hate, we're going to continue pushing our diversity and inclusion agenda. And it's like your diversity and inclusion agenda is the hate. It is divisive. That is what people are opposed against. And you think you're going to solve hate by spreading more hate. This is what these people don't realize, where they've like deluded themselves. Especially people like Cote have deluded themselves into believing that this stuff is actually good. They believe that evil is good. And this is why we must oppose this stuff. We must correct these people and let them know that, no, that is not true. That is not the case. It is evil. DEI is evil. And we can see the fruits of that evil. It spreads division everywhere it goes. Anyways, Cote goes on and says, when the work they put their hearts into is twisted into a symbol of division, it's not just disheartening. Again, see the projection here. You are the one who created that. You are the one who turned it into a symbol of division with your diversity and inclusion agenda. You're the one who did that. You did that. We didn't do that. You did that. We responded to what you did and called it out. Anyways, it's not just disheartening. It can be devastating. What keeps me going is the resilience born out of conviction that I see in our teams every day. I'm especially proud of the Shadows team for staying true to their creative vision and the core tenets of Assassin's Creed. Cote also made it clear that discussions around Ubisoft's diversity and inclusion policies that they inject into their games can influence how our games are perceived. But rather than shy away from those conversations, we should see them as an opportunity. So there you go. He literally admits that it has been devastating. Now, it's unclear exactly what he's referring to there when he says devastating. It could be financially, could be emotionally, could be even physically. We know that this guy previously admitted that he had to like pull out some kind of like calming app when Elon Musk tweeted DEI kills art. And he said he was like having like a breakdown. He was like literally melting down. And he had to pull out like this app on his phone to like calm himself down or something, because Elon Musk literally just posted DEI kills art in response to what they were doing with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So it could be that. But I think right here, it can influence how our games are perceived. I think that is very clear. That is referring to sales. Because if people are seeing your games as being divisive, which they are, pushing an agenda, which they are, they're going to stay away from that. And by staying away from that, they're not going to be buying the game. So it influences how games are perceived, which completely contradicts Jason Schreier's claim that DEI has no effect on sales. literally have the guy that runs the Assassin's Creed franchise at Ubisoft admitting it just 2 days later. Cannot make it up. God definitely has a sense of humor, and he makes my job easy. Makes my job easy. At least in this case, made it very easy to expose Jason Schreier as the liar that he is. And we'll continue to be doing this. There are lots of these individuals that have gained significant following because they have access to these video game companies, but they are not truth tellers. They are liars. And we will continue to expose them here. But let me know what you guys make of Jason Schreier here admitting that his whole purpose is to dunk on the chuds and getting just so easily outed, so easily exposed with his claim that DEI is not a factor in whether games do or do not sell by the Assassin's Creed boss. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.